Hello! Welcome to our Level 1 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll help you write about yourself. We'll be writing a story about something that really happened to you. It's fun and exciting to share true stories about our lives. And when we do that, we can call them stories or personal narratives. Personal means about a specific person, you. And narrative is another word for story. When we write a story or a personal narrative, we'll break it down into 3 parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. That will keep us organized. It'll make it easier for us to write, and best of all, it'll help our readers understand the story and enjoy it. Let's look at how we'll write our story: the beginning, the middle, and the end. In the beginning, start with your topic or your big idea. Let's say we're going to write a story about our favorite holiday. Our beginning could be like this: my favorite holiday was when my family went to Virginia Beach. See how we did that? Our beginning shows our topic, our favorite holiday, as well as our big idea, going to Virginia Beach. Let's practice beginnings a little more. Ready? Let's say you want to write a story about the best present you've ever gotten. Think about it. What's the best present you've ever gotten? Well, here's what I would write for my beginning. The best present I ever received was a tiny white kitten. Now it's your turn. Write the first sentence for your story about the best present you've ever gotten. Let's pause so you can write. Okay, you wrote your beginning. Did you write about both your topic, the best present I ever received was, and your big idea, whatever your present was? Great job. Now we're done with our beginning. Let's go to the middle. In the middle of your personal narrative, add lots of fun, exciting details. We can think of those details by asking ourselves 5 questions, the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. Those questions help us think of lots of information to put in the story. The more information we give our readers, the more excited and interested they'll be. Let's look at 2 different stories written by 2 different writers. Who did a better job? Who gave more details and created a more exciting story? First, here's Susie Q's story. My family went to Virginia Beach in the summer. We went there for my brother's birthday. We stayed with my grandparents. It was really hot outside, but the water was cold. I saw a dolphin one morning. Susie Q. And second, here's Susie P's story. We went to the beach. It was hot and fun. Susie P. So whose story is better? Whose story has a middle that's chock full of fun details? That's right, it was Susie Q's. Now we know that the middle of our story should be rich with details about who, what, when, where, and why. Are you ready to write the middle of your story? You already wrote down your topic, the best present you ever got, and your big idea, what the present was. Now it's time to write all the exciting details about that present. Think, who gave it to you? What was it? What did it look like? When did you get it? Where did you get it? Why did you get it? Here's how I'll write the middle of my personal narrative about the best present I ever got, my kitten. Mom and Dad got the kitten for me as a Christmas present. She was so beautiful, with soft white fur, large blue eyes, and tiny gray paws. It was Christmas morning in our living room when Mom handed the kitten to me. "This is for you to love and take care of," she said. That was the middle of my personal narrative. How about yours? Remember, think about the best present you got and tell who, what, when, where, and why. Let's pause so you can write. Great! You wrote the middle of your story. Your personal narrative is almost done. Now, how do we write the end? Let's end our personal narrative by thinking about our big topic and saying how we feel about it or what we think about it overall. For example, pretend you wrote about your swim meet. How did you feel about your swim meet overall? What did you think about your swim meet overall? Maybe you felt scared and excited at the same time? Maybe you want to try it again. Let's write that down. It'll make a great ending. Swimming in a swim meet was really scary, but it was also fun. I want to do it again someday. Now let's go back to your personal narrative about the best present you ever got. What do you think about that present overall? How do you feel about it? Here's how I'll end my personal narrative. Happy tears streamed down my cheeks right then, and I felt so grateful. I loved the kitten instantly. That's my ending. How will you end your story? What do you think or feel overall about your present? Let's pause so you can write. You're done. You did it. You wrote an exciting personal narrative. Your story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Remember, you started with a beginning that listed your topic and your big idea. Your middle listed all the great details: who, what, where, when, and why. And at the end, you expressed your overall thoughts and feelings about your topic. Great job! Let's think some more about how a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Let's think about how writing a story is like making a pizza. The beginning is like the pizza dough. It's what we need in order to build the rest of the pizza. The middle is like the tomato sauce and cheese. These ingredients give pizza that yummy, gooey taste. Without them, you won't have a pizza you want to bite into. Similarly, if you don't build the middle part of your essay, your readers won't have anything they'll want to read. The end is like the toppings on a pizza. Toppings make your pizza just the way you want it, just as the end of your essay works to bring your entire essay together. We're done. Today we worked on writing a personal narrative or a story about something that happened to you in real life. We wrote a strong, focused, interesting story. Now we can proudly share it with our friends and family. Hello! Welcome to our Level 2 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll help you write about an exciting day in your life. That kind of story is called a personal narrative. The personal narrative tells about something you did in real life, how you solved a problem, or how you learned to realize something important. Before you write your story, decide on your topic. Think of an exciting day in your life. On that day, how did you solve a problem? Or what's something important you learned? Now you know what your story will be about. You're ready to write. When we write a story or a personal narrative, we'll break it up into 3 different parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. Let's explore how to write each part. In the beginning of your personal narrative, answer the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. Your readers are curious about you. Try to tell them who you were with, what you did, when you did it, where you were, and why you did it. Like this. When my grandparents took our whole family to Myrtle Beach last summer, my sister and I built a glorious sandcastle, and it felt wonderful to splash in the ocean. But we almost let our fun get spoiled by a jellyfish. After you've told who, what, when, where, and why, you've written your beginning. Now you'll write the middle. In the middle of a personal narrative, we give our readers even more detail by telling what we saw, what we smelled, what we tasted, what we heard, and what we felt. Those are your 5 senses. Plus, we can write down what people said, and that's called dialogue. What did you see, smell, taste, hear, and feel? Tell all about it to write the middle of your narrative. When you write about what you feel, you can do it in 2 ways. First, you can tell what you felt on your skin or inside your body, like this. As the sun rose higher, the sand warmed up the soles of my feet. It felt nice until it got way too hot. My heart raced as I dashed toward the cool water. And second, you can tell how you feel, what your feelings or emotions were. Think about the story you're telling. Were you happy, sad, mad, sleepy, or excited? Why? Write about your feelings, like this. I felt calm again as a cool wave rushed over my feet. Smiling and laughing, I swished my way further into the water, its foamy surface filling me with happiness. We're almost done with the middle of our narrative when we've told about all our 5 senses. But let's do one more thing to really make our middle exciting. Let's add dialogue. Write down what people said out loud. This makes your story feel real. Your readers feel like they're truly there with you, hearing your story come alive. It's okay if you don't really remember what people said. Just take your best guess, and you can even use your imagination, like this. Grandmother watched as I laughed and splashed in the surf. "You remind me of a seagull," she said. "You love the water, and you keep squawking." When we've added dialogue and lots of sensory details, we're done with our middle and ready for the end. How do we write the end? We sum up what happened and we say what we learned from it, like this. In the end, even though the jellyfish frightened me, I made up my mind to be joyful and to savor the whole day with my family. I realized that jellyfish are like problems. We will always have problems, but we can decide to focus on the happy things in life instead of the problems. That helps us find joy. And that's it. That's how we write an exciting personal narrative. Let's sum up everything. Your narrative has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your beginning told who, what, where, when, and why. You packed the middle of your story with realistic dialogue, what people said out loud, and with exciting details about what you saw, felt, heard, tasted, and smelled. And at the end, you summed up what happened and explained what you learned. We're done! Today we explored how to write a personal narrative or a story about something you did in real life. It was hard work thinking of specific, exciting details to fill our story, but all that hard work pays off. And soon we can share with our friends and family a richly detailed, meaningful story. Hello! Welcome to our Level 3 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll help you write about a book you love and why it should be made into a movie. That kind of writing is called an essay. Essays help writers explore and explain their ideas and opinions. Before you write your essay, decide on your topic. Think of a book you love, a book that would make a great movie. What book is it? Now you know what your essay will be about. You're ready to write. When we write an essay, we'll break it up into 3 different parts: the introduction, the body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Let's explore how to write each part. In the introduction, first impressions are important. Write a catchy first sentence to hook your readers and make them want to keep reading. Try asking a question or offering a surprising fact, like this. Have you ever loved a book so much that you still have vivid dreams about it? Or like this. Did you know that over 68,000 children immigrated to the United States last year? After you've grabbed your reader's attention with that first sentence, you need to write an opinion sentence. An opinion sentence, or a thesis statement, explains the main idea of the essay. That main idea is what we're going to be writing about in our essay. So think of your main topic. You'll be writing about a book that would make a wonderful movie. But why would that book make such a good movie? Think of 3 reasons and include these in your opinion sentence, like this. Home of the Brave by Katherine Applegate is the story of a young immigrant that would make a wonderful movie. It's touching, with spirited characters and fascinating dialogue. Now that you've written your opinion sentence, you're done with your introduction. You're ready to write your body paragraphs. Remember how you thought of those 3 reasons for your opinion? Each of those 3 reasons will get its own body paragraph. Writing a body paragraph is like making a sandwich. Both paragraphs and sandwiches contain different parts that work together to create something special or yummy. The bottom slice of bread is the first item we need to build a sandwich. It's what we use to stack everything else on top of. Similarly, a topic sentence at the beginning of our paragraph expresses our main reason. We use the topic sentence to help us write everything else. Here's the topic sentence for my first body paragraph. Home of the Brave's touching story will appeal to moviegoers. We've written the topic sentence, and it's like we've laid down a slice of bread. Now it's time to stack yummy ingredients on that bread. That's right, we're about to add delicious details to our paragraph. Just like the tasty cheese, turkey, and mustard in a sandwich, the details in our paragraph give it substance and taste. We want to add details to show exactly what we mean, like this. When Keck travels from Africa to the United States at age 10, he doesn't know English. He doesn't know what a coat is or what gloves are, and he worries how he'll pay for his desk at school because he doesn't understand yet that it's free. His story and his struggle to fit into American culture will appeal to kids and adults because we all know someone who went through a similar struggle. Some of us even went through this ourselves. Keck's journey from an outsider to a person who belongs in his community forms an important and touching story. Now we're done adding details to our paragraph, and it's time to add one last sentence to it, the conclusion sentence. This conclusion sentence will be like the top slice of bread that holds our sandwich together. We'll use that sentence to top off the idea. Here's my concluding sentence. That story deserves to be pulled from the pages of the book and shown on movie screens all across the country. We're done with our first body paragraph. We wrote about our first reason that our chosen book should be made into a movie. But we have 2 other reasons also, and each one will get its own paragraph. Try it now. Write 2 more body paragraphs, just like we did together. You can do it. When we're done writing all 3 body paragraphs, we're almost finished with the whole essay, but there's one more paragraph to write, the conclusion. The conclusion is the last paragraph in the essay. It says the main idea in a new, different way, and it tells readers why that idea matters or why they should care. First, let's write one sentence to say our main idea in a different way, like this. As a movie, Home of the Brave would bring Keck's important and beautiful story to an even larger audience. And let's end with one more sentence to reassure readers that our main idea really matters, like this. When they watch his story on the big screen, people will remember to show compassion to immigrants like Keck, especially children. Let's sum up everything. Your essay has an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Your introduction had one sentence to hook readers in and another sentence to explain your main idea. You packed the 3 body paragraphs of your essay with interesting, specific details to explain and show exactly what you mean. And in the conclusion, you came back to your main idea to express it in a fresh way and tell readers why it matters so much. We're done! Today, we explored how to write an essay, or a piece of writing that explains an idea or an opinion. It was hard work writing all those paragraphs, but now we have an interesting composition to share with our friends. With help from a parent or your SpiderSmart teacher, you can even post your essay online as a review of your book and get other readers to enjoy the book just as much as you did. Hello! Welcome to our Level 4 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll help you write about a strong opinion you hold and why your readers should care about it. That kind of writing is called an essay. Essays help writers explore and explain their ideas and opinions. More specifically, today we're writing a persuasive essay, one that persuades your readers to understand, to care, and even to take action. Before you write your essay, decide on your topic. Think of a specific problem that bothers you. How should we solve that problem? Now you know what your essay will be about, an important problem and your opinion on how to solve it. You're ready to write. Let's start with the introduction. That's the paragraph that opens the essay and gets readers excited and interested in the topic. In the introduction, try to do 3 things. 1, start with a catchy opening sentence. 2, give background information about the problem. And 3, finish with a sentence that tells your opinion, what you think we should do to solve that problem. Let's try it. Here's a catchy opening for our introduction. Last week, the most embarrassing thing ever happened to me. I fell asleep face down on my desk, and I snored so loudly that the entire class exploded in laughter. See what we did? We made a catchy hook by giving a quick story about something unusual or funny that happened. You can also try starting with a surprising fact or a thoughtful question. After you've grabbed your reader's attention with that first sentence, you need to give your readers the background information they need to understand the problem. Imagine you're talking to a friend or a family member who doesn't know what this problem is, but is eager to learn about it. Like this. It wasn't my fault. I was so sleepy. It was 7:45 a.m., and instead of snoozing peacefully in my bed, I was forcing myself to sit upright at my desk. School starts so early in the day that my classmates and I are still too drowsy to get anything done. Finally, finish your introduction with one more sentence that expresses your opinion. How do you think we should solve that problem? Like this. We should adjust the school day so that it starts at 9:00 a.m. We finished the introduction. We wrote it with a catchy hook, background information, and a clear, focused statement of opinion. Now our readers know what the problem is, and they understand how we want to solve it. But why? What are our reasons? It's time to think about our reasons and plan our body paragraphs. Let's aim for 3 reasons. So we'll write 3 body paragraphs, 1 paragraph for each reason. Let's plan them out. You might already have 3 reasons in mind to support your opinion. That's great. You can write each body paragraph about a different reason. If you're not sure how to create your reasons, try it this way. First, why is the problem such a big deal? Second, why do we think our solution will work? And third, what if people disagree with us? What would they say? What can we say to change their minds? Let's go ahead and write the topic sentence for each of our body paragraphs. Here's the first one. Why is the problem such a big deal? Let's write this. First of all, it's not just me who's sleepy in class. It's lots of kids throughout the entire school. And sleepiness in class isn't just funny or embarrassing. It's a huge waste of time and resources. Do you see what I did to start my topic sentence? I used a transition. First of all. Here are some other transitions you might select. Next, also, the first thing to do, for example, another reason, in addition or additionally, or lastly, finally, or ultimately. Let's use another transition as we write the second topic sentence. Why do I think my solution will work? Let's write this. Secondly, starting the school day later means that we can sleep longer, come to school after the sun has risen, and focus better on our work. Let's keep using transitions. Now we'll write our third topic sentence. What will we tell people who disagree? Let's write this. Finally, although many parents and teachers might worry about the money, time, and effort that this change will cause, I believe the benefits will outweigh those costs. Great! We wrote a topic sentence for each of our 3 body paragraphs. Now our essay is really taking shape. Right now, it's like a skeleton. We have the bones all put together, and now it's time to add the muscle. That's right, it's time to fill in each of the body paragraphs with strong specific details and explanations. Let's write one of those body paragraphs together. Secondly, starting the school day later means that we can sleep longer, come to school after the sun has risen, and focus better on our work. When we come to school rested and fresh, we can sit upright at our desks, stay focused on our teachers and our assignments, and do a better job of reading, thinking, remembering, calculating, writing, and solving problems. We'll work better in teams and groups instead of staring at each other glassy-eyed, talking about how badly we wish we could nap. Our teachers won't have to waste time asking us to sit up, to focus, and to pay attention. With our eyes sharply focused instead of drooping and closing, we'll learn more in 30 minutes than we could have in 2 sleepy hours. When we're done writing all 3 body paragraphs, we're almost finished with the whole essay, but there's one more paragraph to write, the conclusion. The conclusion is the last paragraph in the essay. We'll use it to express our opinion in a new, different way and remind readers what's at stake, why they should care, or why our opinion matters so much. We might even tell our readers what they should do, how they should take action. First, let's write one sentence to say our main idea in a different way, like this. When school starts later in the morning, everyone will benefit, and no one will drool on their desks. And let's end with one more sentence to reassure readers that our main idea really matters, or tell them what action they should take, like this. Think of the potential benefits. Our school can boast about higher test scores, stronger skills, and smarter, higher achieving kids. We can even add this. If you agree, make your voice heard and email the superintendent, Dr. Kinlaw, today. Let's sum up everything. Your essay has an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Your introduction had 1 sentence to hook readers in, a few sentences to explain the background information, and another sentence to explain your opinion. You organize the 3 body paragraphs of your essay around your main reasons for having that opinion. And in each body paragraph, you included interesting, specific details to explain and show exactly what you mean. And in the conclusion, you came back to your main opinion to express it in a fresh way and tell readers why it matters so much or what they should do about it. We're done! Today we explored how to write a persuasive essay, or a piece of writing that explains an opinion. It wasn't easy. It took planning, persistence, hard work, and time. But now we have a valuable piece of writing to share with others. With help from a teacher, you could even publish your essay in your school's newsletter or on your school's website to share your opinion far and wide and help make real changes in your world. Hello! Welcome to our Level 5 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll refresh you on the basics of writing a 5-paragraph essay. And along the way, we'll give special attention to writing full, detailed paragraphs. Recall that essays help writers explore and explain their ideas and opinions. They can persuade your readers to understand, to care, and even to take action. Let's think about the process of writing an essay, and let's break it down into steps. Step 1, read the essay question at least 2 times. That's right, read the question, the prompt, or the instructions at least a few times so that you know exactly what to write. It's a good idea to grab your pencil or your highlighter and mark any important words in the question. Let's look at an example. In The Witch of Blackbird Pond, Kit Tyler is like a tropical bird flown to the wrong part of the world. In a well-organized essay, explain how Kit is different in 3 ways from other characters in her new life. Okay, there's our topic. But what is it really asking? Let's read it again. We'll see that it's asking us to write about how Kit is different from the people she lives among. Let's mark the most important words. In The Witch of Blackbird Pond, Kit Tyler is like a tropical bird flown to the wrong part of the world. In a well-organized essay, explain how Kit is different in 3 ways from other characters in her new life. Now we know what to write about, and we can take the next step. Step 2, write the introduction paragraph. The introduction opens the essay and gets readers excited and interested in the topic. Remember, maybe your readers don't know anything about your topic. Maybe they haven't seen your essay question at all. Let's ease them into your essay with that important first paragraph, the introduction. In the introduction, try to do 3 things. 1, start with a hook, a catchy opening sentence. 2, explain what your topic is. And 3, finish with a thesis statement. The thesis statement answers the essay question. Let's try it. Here's a hook, or a catchy opening for our introduction. When I was reading The Witch of Blackbird Pond, I sometimes felt so sorry for Kit that I accidentally smudged some of the pages with my teardrops. See what we did? We shared an emotional little story to pull the readers into our essay. You can also try starting with a surprising fact or a thoughtful question. After you've grabbed your reader's attention with that first sentence, you need to help them understand what the essay will be about. Let's add a few sentences. When I was reading The Witch of Blackbird Pond, I sometimes felt so sorry for Kit that I accidentally smudged some of the pages with my teardrops. Kit just moved away from her home in the Caribbean, and she's feeling lonely and out of place in a small New England town. Everywhere she turns, she feels the sharp sting of her neighbor's judgment and the awkward shame of being different from them. Finally, finish your introduction with 1 more sentence that answers the essay question. That's our thesis statement. The essay question asked us to talk about 3 ways that Kit is different from everyone else, so our thesis statement should answer that question and tell 3 ways that she's different. Let's add it on. When I was reading The Witch of Blackbird Pond, I sometimes felt so sorry for Kit that I accidentally smudged some of the pages with my teardrops. Kit just moved away from her home in the Caribbean, and she's feeling lonely and out of place in a small New England town. Everywhere she turns, she feels the sharp sting of her neighbor's judgment and the awkward shame of being different from them. Kit's passion for reading and learning, her love of fine clothes and accessories, and her failure to enjoy church meetings all set her apart from her neighbors and mark her as an outsider. We finished the introduction. We wrote it with a catchy hook, followed by background information to explain the topic, and wrapped it up at the end with a thesis statement that gave a clear, detailed answer to the essay question. That was step 2. Now we're ready to move forward. Step 3, write the body paragraphs. In the body paragraphs, we'll go into lots of detail to explain and prove our thesis statement. Remember our thesis statement? Here it is. Kit's passion for reading and learning, her love of fine clothes and accessories, and her failure to enjoy church meetings all set her apart from her neighbors and mark her as an outsider. In our thesis statement, we listed some specific answers to the essay question. The question said, how is Kit different? And our thesis statement basically says she's different because 1, she loves to read and learn, 2, she loves fine clothes and accessories, and 3, she doesn't enjoy church. We're going to take those 3 answers and turn them into 3 body paragraphs, 1 paragraph for each answer. How do we write a body paragraph? First, we use a transition, like, first of all, the second way, or most importantly. Second, we write a topic sentence. Third, we jam-pack the paragraph with facts, details, examples, reasons, quotes, and comments. Fourth, we close the paragraph with one more sentence to explain how the ideas in this paragraph relate to the big idea, to the thesis statement for the whole essay. Let's do this. Watch closely as I write a body paragraph. I'll start with a transition, first of all, and add my topic sentence. First of all, kids' devotion to reading and learning strikes the townspeople as bizarre, even immoral. Did you see what I did to start my topic sentence? I used a transition, first of all. Here are some other transitions you might select. Next, also, the first thing to do, the second thing to do. For example, another reason, in addition or additionally, or lastly, finally, or ultimately. Next, I'll explain exactly what I mean by adding facts, details, examples, reasons, quotes, and comments. I'll imagine that I'm talking to a friend who disagrees with me and wants me to prove what I'm saying. First of all, Kit's devotion to reading and learning strikes the townspeople as bizarre, even immoral. Kit gets a chance to teach a group of school children, and when she gets them excited about learning by letting them act out a story, Mr. Eliezer Kimberly and Reverend John Woodbridge swiftly shut down Kit's efforts, telling her how sinful it is to let children play act. Kit is baffled. How could she have known that her exciting approach would merit such harsh rejection from the townspeople? Can't they see that she just wants the kids to have fun, to learn, and to love learning? She cries her heart out in the meadows, probably wondering whether she'll ever understand the men like Mr. Kimberly or Reverend Woodbridge, and probably worried that in turn, the men and women like them will never understand her. They love reading the same old Bible stories over and over, but Kit loves the excitement and challenge of reading poetry and histories and plays by Shakespeare and Dryden. When Kit communicates that love of reading to John, he sternly rebukes her. The proper use of reading is to improve our sinful nature and to fill our minds with God's holy word, he tells her. Once again, Kit just can't understand. She probably thinks the proper use of reading is to explore the past and distant lands, to soar to imaginative places and stretch the limits of her own creativity. Her uncle would say, that's sinful. He's so different from Kit. It's like they live on separate planets instead of under the same roof. Whew, that was a lot of detail and commentary. I had to try hard to prove my opinion by backing it up with details and facts. Now I'm ready to wrap up my paragraph with one more sentence that sums up the idea and explains how it's related to the big idea for the whole essay. Kit's heartfelt embrace of literature and education sets her apart from her family and neighbors, who view her as a strange outsider. Now I'm done with that body paragraph. We'd write the second and third body paragraphs in the same way, focusing on the other two components of our thesis statement, how Kit is different because she loves fancy clothes, and how she's different because she doesn't enjoy the church meetings. When we're done with the body paragraphs, we're almost finished with the whole essay, but there's one more paragraph to write. That brings us to our final step. Step 4. Write the conclusion. The conclusion is the last paragraph in the essay. We'll use it to restate our main idea in a new, different way and to help readers understand why that idea matters or why it's worth thinking about or what it reveals about the way we humans are or the way our world works. First, let's write one sentence to say our main point in a different way. Look at your thesis statement again and try to express it in fresh new words, like this. Kit is so different from her new neighbors that she has to struggle to understand them, and vice versa. And let's end with just a few more sentences to explore why that idea matters and why readers should care, like this. But that struggle matters. It fueled an exciting and entertaining novel, and it explored a universal truth. That is, yes, Kid's story took place hundreds of years ago. And yes, it's fictional and not factual, but her struggle to fit in with her society while maintaining a sense of her own uniqueness provides a valuable example today for kids and teens everywhere. We did it! We wrote a strong conclusion to bring this essay to a thoughtful close. Let's sum up that whole process. Your essay has an introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Your introduction had 1 sentence to hook readers in, a few sentences to explain what the essay question is, and a thesis statement to answer the essay question. You organize the 3 body paragraphs of your essay around the 3 main components of your thesis statement. And in each body paragraph, you included interesting, specific details to explain and show exactly what you mean. And in the conclusion, you came back to your thesis statement to express it in a fresh way and tell readers why it matters so much, or how it connects to something bigger, like the real world. We're done! Today we explored how to write a 5-paragraph essay with a special focus on well-constructed body paragraphs. It wasn't easy. It took planning, persistence, hard work, and time. But it was worth it, because we got stronger and better at expressing our thoughts and opinions, backing them up with reasons and details, and arranging them in a clear, careful, consistent way. Those are the kinds of skills we all need to earn high grades, win debates and arguments, and be excellent conversationalists and negotiators. Hello! Welcome to our Level 6 workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, I'll help you write a persuasive essay based on a given piece of text. In other words, we'll take a look at a piece of writing, think about the reasons and evidence it presents, and write about our opinion based on that. Will we agree with the author? Maybe so, but maybe not. Here's step 1. First, let's understand the essay question and the argument it's talking about. And let's think about what it would mean to support or oppose that argument. So in other words, step 1, identify the argument and what it means to support it or oppose it. Here's our essay question. Voluntourism is a very popular kind of trip that students often take to poorer nations, during which they do charity work. Many people believe it is valuable for students to take these voluntourism trips. Do you? Why or why not? Let's figure this out. We need to identify the argument. Many people believe it is valuable for students to take these voluntourism trips. There it is. Some people argue that it's a good thing when students do voluntourism. If we support that argument, then we agree. We think voluntourism is valuable. But if we oppose that argument, then we disagree. We think voluntourism is not valuable. Maybe it's even harmful. In other words, if we support the argument, we think voluntourism is helpful and should continue. If we oppose the argument, we think voluntourism is harmful and should stop. Okay, now we understand the argument and what it would mean to write for or against it. That was step 1. And here's step 2. We want to comb through the text sentence by sentence and look for evidence that supports or opposes the argument. In other words, step 2, read the text carefully to find evidence for or against the argument. Here's our text. It's a fascinating article by Michelle L. Staton titled 7 Reasons Why Your 2-Week Trip to Haiti Doesn't Matter. You can find it easily on Google, but if you need help, be sure to ask a teacher or parent. As we read, let's take notes on the facts and reasons we find that reveal how voluntourism is good or bad. Be sure to pause the video and take your time as you read and hunt for evidence. You can do it. Pause the video so you can read the text and take notes. Try organizing your notes into 2 columns, pro and con. Are you ready to compare notes? Here are the facts and reasons I found in the text that would help us support or oppose the argument that voluntourism is good. After we've thought about the evidence that supports or opposes the argument, we can do step 3. That is, we can decide whether we'll argue for or against the argument. In other words, step 3, decide whether you'll write to support or oppose the argument. I'm looking at my notes and I see so many more facts and reasons that oppose voluntourism. I'll decide to argue against the argument that voluntourism is good. I'll be writing to convince my readers that voluntourism is harmful. Now we know what we'll be writing about. It's time to get started with an introduction. Step 4. Write an introduction with a hook, background information, and an opinion statement. First, we'll use a hook to catch our readers' interest. Here are some ways we can hook readers. We can use a question or a quote, a fascinating fact, or a scenario. Then we'll introduce and explain the big issue. Basically, we'll say what the argument is. Finally, we'll finish the introduction with one more sentence that explains whether we're for or against the argument. That's our thesis statement, or we can call it our opinion statement. In the opinion statement, say clearly what you support or oppose. Here's my opinion statement. Voluntourism does more harm than good, and it should be stopped. For the rest of the essay, we'll be working hard to convince readers that our opinion statement is true. Now we're ready for step 5. Step 5, write the body paragraphs. Let's take our most important reasons and give each of them its own body paragraph. For example, one of my important reasons for opposing voluntourism is that students help themselves instead of the people they're supposed to be helping. In other words, their intentions are misguided. They really want to help themselves, not others. I'll explore that idea in one body paragraph, convincing my readers that it's true. In each body paragraph, write a topic sentence, several sentences to support and explain that topic, and one last sentence to sum it up. The topic sentence is used to introduce one reason you support or oppose the argument. It can be as simple as writing this. First of all, I will explain why my reason proves my overall opinion, like this. First of all, I will explain why voluntourists' misguided intentions prove that voluntourism is a bad idea. Next, explain and support the reason you just listed. You can add facts, statistics, and even hypothetical scenarios. Lastly, you want to write a summary sentence. That's one last sentence in the body paragraph that helps readers make the connection between your reason and your overall opinion. You can try using this pattern. These facts illustrate how important it is that my overall opinion be taken seriously. Like this. These facts illustrate how important it is that the harm done by voluntourism is taken seriously. We'll repeat that process for each body paragraph until we're done exploring all of our most important reasons. Finally, we're ready for the last step. Step 6, write the conclusion. Here, we'll offer our final thoughts on our opinion and the whole topic, and we'll give readers something important to think about. We can call the reader to action, that is, tell them to do or not do something. Or we can provide a solution, or even make a prediction. Here are some phrases you can use in your conclusion. It's imperative that we... With all that being said, it's urgent that... Taking into consideration all the above reasons, I believe... Now that we understand the situation, we must... Looking to the future then, we should... If we don't do anything about this issue, we can expect... With our conclusion, we've brought this essay to a thoughtful, persuasive close. Let's sum up that whole process. Your essay has an introduction, several body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Your introduction had one sentence to hook readers in, a few sentences to explain what the argument is, and an opinion statement to propel the essay forward. You organized the body paragraphs of your essay around the main reasons supporting your opinion. And in each body paragraph, you included persuasive, specific details to explain and show exactly what you mean. And in the conclusion, you came back to your opinion statement to express it in a fresh way and tell readers why it matters so much, or what they should do about it now. We're done! Today, we explored how to write a persuasive essay based on a given text. It wasn't easy. We had to read, think, plan, and write. But in the process of doing all that work, we've gotten stronger and better at expressing our own ideas and using our words to inspire action and change in the real world. Hello! Welcome to our advanced level workshop for writing. I'm Liesl, your SpiderSmart teacher. Today, we'll explore how to write a basic 5-paragraph essay. This kind of essay helps you present and explore your thoughts in a simple, organized, step-by-step way. Writing this kind of essay can be hard work, but it's worth it because we're creating something that's easy on our readers. They'll be able to understand our ideas easily, and they'll clearly see how all our ideas fit together to form one big compelling thesis or major idea. Think of the 5-paragraph essay as a delicious hamburger. The top bun will be the introduction, and the bottom bun will be the conclusion. These two important paragraphs come first and last in the essay, and they hold everything together. Inside our hamburger, in between the intro and the conclusion, we have the body paragraphs, which we'll think of as all the delicious veggies, cheese, and meat inside our burger. Just like the meat, cheese, and veggies in a burger give us nutrition and fill us up when we eat them, the body paragraphs of the essay provide substance, detail, and bulk, giving the whole essay length, meaning, and value. Let's keep thinking of our essay as a burger. That makes it easy to visualize the parts of the essay, so that when you're writing, you can keep your focus on both the big picture, that is, the whole burger, and the little picture, that is, the individual paragraphs and sentences that you're composing. Now let's look closely at each piece of our hamburger essay. Let's say our essay question asks this: how does the author of the story express its theme or its main message to readers? So, we know that our essay will explore what the theme or main message of a story is, and how the author expresses that theme. Let's start writing. First, there's the top bun of our hamburger essay, the introduction. We'll start with one sentence to hook our readers in, maybe by asking them a fascinating question or two, or offering an unusual fact to pique their curiosity. Next, we'll explain whatever background information they need to understand what we're talking about. Finally, we'll give our thesis statement, one important sentence that answers the essay question. Check out how Preston, a writer on level 8, wrote his introduction. He read a story called Rules of the Game by Amy Tan, and his job is to explain how Tan expresses the theme or main idea of the story. Here's his intro. To hook us in, he writes a series of questions. Have you ever felt like your life was going nowhere, like you were trapped or stuck? Did you give up, or did you gather your strength and push forward in your life? And to give us background information, he explains enough of what he's talking about so that we can understand him even if we haven't read the story. That decision fell on Waverly, the main character in Amy Tan's story, Rules of the Game. Waverly is 7, living with her 2 brothers and their parents in Chinatown, San Francisco. Ever since she became a chess prodigy, she feels trapped by her mother, who controls her life and makes her feel utterly trapped. Finally, he wraps up his intro with his thesis statement, his sentence that answers the essay question. But the theme of Waverly's story is that despite life's obstacles, we have to keep pressing forward. And that theme reveals itself to readers in three main ways: through the story of the wind, through the metaphor of the animal stuck in the shop, and through the metaphor of chess. Now you try it. Think of a story you've read. What was the theme or the main message that the author wants us to take away from the story? And how does the author express that theme? Write your introduction for your essay, thinking of it as the top bun of a hamburger. Write your hook, your background information, and your thesis, just like Preston did. Next, let's explore how to write the body paragraphs. We break our thesis statement into parts or sections, and we let each body paragraph explore one part or section. We'll start with a topic sentence to explain that first section of our thesis statement. Remember, Preston's thesis statement was this: but the theme of Waverly's story is that despite life's obstacles, we have to keep pressing forward, and that theme reveals itself to readers in three main ways: through the story of the wind, through the metaphor of the animal stuck in the shop, and through the metaphor of chess. So Preston is going to take that first part, the story of the wind, and focus on that for the first body paragraph. Here's his topic sentence. First, Waverly's mother taught Waverly the story of the wind. This story expresses Tan's theme, urging us to power through the obstacles in our lives. Next, he explains the story of the wind and how it expresses the theme of Amy Tan's story. That takes several sentences to accomplish. Finally, he wraps up his body paragraph with one more sentence that shows how this whole paragraph connects to the thesis statement for the whole essay. The story of the wind taught Waverly how to press on no matter what obstacle came her way. Now you try it. Look back at the thesis statement that you wrote about the theme of the story you read. Write your first body paragraph for your essay, thinking of it as the delicious tomatoes, lettuce, and onions on your hamburger, or whatever veggies you like. Write your topic sentence, your detail sentences, and your connect to the thesis sentence, just like Preston did. Now, you remember how your thesis statement has three parts? Your first body paragraph wrote about the first part of your thesis statement. It was like the yummy veggies on your burger, but now you need the cheese and the meat. So repeat that process, writing two more body paragraphs to explore the other two parts of your thesis statement. Remember, start with your topic sentence, add your detail sentences, and wrap up by linking your idea right back to your main thesis statement. Finally, now that we're done writing the body of our essay, let's explore how to write the conclusion. This part is like the bottom bun of our hamburger, simultaneously holding together the inner pieces of our entire essay and giving our readers a way to hold on to all those pieces too. All we have to do to write the conclusion is restate our thesis and offer our final thoughts. Let's see how. We'll start by reshaping our thesis statement into different words to remind readers of what our main point was. Remember, way back in his introduction, Preston's thesis statement was this: but the theme of Waverly's story is that despite life's obstacles, we have to keep pressing forward, and that theme reveals itself to readers in three main ways: through the story of the wind, through the metaphor of the animal stuck in the shop, and through the metaphor of chess. So, Preston took that same idea and just expressed it in a different way to open his conclusion. Here's his first sentence for the conclusion, which restates his thesis in a fresh new way. Taken all together, those three things, the story of the wind, the animal stuck in the shop, and the metaphor of chess, all signify the theme that we must push forward through life's obstacles, that we can't let ourselves give up when we get stuck. But he's not quite finished with his conclusion because he's got to offer his final thoughts to the reader. Here they are. When Waverly feels crushed and stifled by her mother, she imagines herself rising up and flying out of her window, finding the same kind of inner strength or magic that we all have and that we all need to use. Now you try it. Write your conclusion, thinking of it as the bottom bun of your delicious essay hamburger. Look back at the thesis statement that you wrote and rewrite it in a fresh new way for the first sentence of your conclusion. Then offer readers your final thoughts. Imagine you're talking to a good friend and you've just finished explaining the main theme of the story. What else would you say to give your friend something meaningful to think about? Write that down and you're done with your conclusion. Let's sum up that whole process of writing a 5-paragraph essay. Your essay has an introduction, several body paragraphs, here we had 3, and a conclusion. The introduction grabbed your reader's attention, gave background information, and offered a precise thesis statement that answers the essay question. Each of your body paragraphs explored the supporting pieces of that thesis statement, and each contained a topic sentence, detail sentences, and a final sentence to link the idea back to the thesis statement. And in the conclusion, you reshaped your thesis statement and offered some final, thoughtful ideas. We're done! Today we explored how to write a 5-paragraph essay based on a given question. We envisioned our essay as a delicious hamburger, and that helped us visualize all the components of the essay and how we can structure them into a cohesive whole. Now that we're comfortable with the basic structure of this kind of essay, we're free to experiment with our writing, add creative touches like analogies and figurative language, and keep on creating clear, readable, fascinating pieces of writing that instruct and delight our readers.